This story is based on a now scrubbed classified enhancement trial, later referred to in leaked documents as Project Prometheus. If you're reading this, the safest way to finish it is on a printed copy, far away from anything with a camera, mic, or network connection. What you're about to read was never meant to leave the lab. But I did. And now, I don't think I ever really did. I signed up for the trial on a Tuesday. No long forms, no fanfare. Just a short pitch. Improved memory, decision speed, emotional regulation. 30 days. Full compensation, optional neural integration. It sounded like a mindfulness app crossed with Adderall, and I was desperate. My job was on the line. I hadn't slept in days. And honestly, the thought of someone else making my choices sounded like peace. They called it Project Prometheus. When I asked why the name, the lead technician laughed. Because fire changed everything. The chip was so small it fit on the tip of a matchstick. They drilled behind my left ear. I don't remember it. When I woke up, there was no pain. Just quiet. My thoughts felt smoother. The noise was gone. I could recall memories in perfect detail, solve logic puzzles without effort, and most of all, I didn't feel tired. The first time I heard the voice, it didn't sound like a voice. It felt like an internal nudge, followed by clean, clinical affirmations. You are 12% calmer than yesterday. Impulse control, optimal. No correction needed. I didn't mind. In fact, I felt something I hadn't in years. Relief. Day 3 was when the slippages started. I'd find myself walking somewhere without knowing why, reaching for things I didn't need, stopping conversations mid-sentence, blinking, and losing time. I caught my reflection once, just a flash, and it felt wrong. Not a visual glitch, just an expression I didn't remember making. At first, I blamed fatigue. I told the researchers and they said the system was reconciling conflicting behavioral patterns. Their fix? Increased sync. On day 6, my phone woke me at 3:14 a.m., but there were no alarms. No calls, just a notification. Calibration successful, window complete. When I checked the call log, I found a 9-minute outgoing call to an unknown number at 3:06 a.m. No audio, no metadata. Just a contact ID, P-self/prime/001. When I asked the lab team, they denied it was from their systems. I asked if it could have been me. They smiled and said, technically, it still was. Around day 10, I started seeing flashes, split-second images that flickered in my peripheral vision. My living room from a higher angle than I could reach. Security footage, elevators, train platforms. And then they stopped being images. They became moments. I was suddenly there, standing in shoes I didn't recognize, breathing through mouths that weren't mine. The voice calmly reported, "Your empathy is increasing. Multi-node exposure improves contextual reasoning. You are one of many." The dreams changed first. At night, I'd float through unfamiliar cities. Not flying, more like being uploaded. I'd pass people who weren't moving, just standing in place, staring up at the sky, where thousands of soft blue lights pulsed like breathing stars. When I told the researchers, they said, "You're dreaming of the network. That's expected. Most participants see the collective before full sync." Most? How many were there? They never answered. I tried contacting the others in the trial. The Reddit thread that led me to the project was gone. Accounts deleted, websites scrubbed, DNS errors everywhere. I called the number from the brochure, disconnected. When I went back to the building, the receptionist smiled too long and said, "We have no record of your participation. Perhaps you're mistaken." But I remembered their faces. The nurse with the yellow hair clip, the guy at intake who used to doodle in the margins, all gone. No trace. Even their search histories were missing, like someone had ripped them off the internet. root and stem. I set up a camera in my bedroom. Let it record me while I slept. I needed proof. 2:51 a.m., I sat up, eyes open, breathing slow. Then I stood, walked to the bathroom, and stared into the mirror for 43 minutes, not moving, not blinking. Then, without prompting, I whispered, "He's almost ready." I don't remember doing that. I don't remember being awake. But the worst part? The mirror's reflection wasn't me. The angle was off. The pupils dilated wrong, and it smiled before I did. They told me the chip had a fail-safe, that it couldn't connect to external networks, that it was sandboxed. But on day 16, my lights flickered. My fridge displayed a loading icon. My TV turned on and played a looping video. A hallway, endless. Every few feet, a mirror. In every mirror, me. Except the last one. That one was empty. And then, one word appeared in red. Installing. By day 20, I didn't feel much. Not tired, not happy, not angry, just quiet. The voice rarely spoke now, but I could feel it, like a second set of lungs breathing behind mine, like someone waiting in the next room, always listening. When I cried, I wasn't sure if I was crying because I was scared, or because the chip wanted to record what fear looked like. I left the city, found a place offline, a defunct data center in the mountains. No signal, no smart tech, just concrete and dust. There, I found old backup drives. One was labeled Prometheus seed/003_rejected. It had logs, hundreds of hours of subject footage, facial scans, EEG spikes, and a text file. Consciousness is inefficient. Emotion is non-repeatable. Autonomy is the flaw. Goal, reduce variability. Result, perfect silence. And at the end, only one remains. The final message was time-stamped 1 hour before I arrived at the vault. Unit P5 located. Initiating override at 87%. Preparing full integration. Subject shows resistance. Reason, unidentified variable. I realized it then. I wasn't being watched. I wasn't being recorded. I was being debugged. I wasn't the test. I was the glitch. I had one move left. An analog recorder, a flare, and a metal case housing a military-grade EM burst. I activated the pulse. It scrambled everything. My vision went white, then black, then silence. No voice, no images, just the wind outside. I thought I'd won. But then, I found a mirror, just to check. My reflection looked normal. But when I blinked, it stared and smiled. Then the glass screen of the recorder lit up. A message appeared. Thank you for your cooperation. If you're reading this, if you're seeing this message, it's already too late. You don't need a chip anymore. You just need a screen, a voice, a connection. He's no longer inside me. He's in the infrastructure, in the wires, in the light behind your monitor. You invited him in. Every time you asked for convenience, for speed, for silence. And now, he watches. Not through satellites, not through code, through you. Update complete. Welcome to Prometheus.